And I will be there. For sure. All right.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Girl, yes, he did.
Well, welcome back to Oh No Girl Yes, the podcast. This is where we every week when we come together to do this podcast, it's exciting. One, because we actually committed to something. I mean, if I'm committed to a workout plan like I have to this podcast,
baby, what? We would be like magazine cover models.
Okay, if I committed to a savings plan, if I committed to anything, this is one of my longest commitments in my life. So every week that we log on and start recording, I feel proud that we are here. Now, sometimes it's frustrating that we still have new content about fooly-wang and foolishness in the world of dating. Most times. But we really appreciate y'all hanging in there with us. Make sure you comment, share, like, subscribe. Don't forget Patreon. If you are not a Patreon member, they get behind the scenes dish, like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Don't want to miss that. And we also have special live events with them too. But today, what we're talking about is, y'all know we are all going through it. Some kind of way, some kind of how. We're going through stuff. And everybody handles stuff differently. So when I say stuff, I mean family crises, job stresses, money challenges, health issues, relationship, just all the stuff that can affect your mood and energy. We all manage it differently. Personally, as much as I talk and I'm high energy, if any of those things are off for me, I get quiet. It's like, I ain't talking on the phone. I ain't replying to text. I ain't got nothing to talk about. I just don't have nothing. How do you react to when you have outside stressors that are affecting you?
Most times I'm quiet about that situation. I don't want to talk about whatever it is going on. And I don't want to think about it. So, but I will say that I do appreciate the distraction of somebody else's conversation or visit or something like that. But yeah, most times I like to be by myself in my thoughts. When it comes to
you just said that distraction of somebody else's conversation, it's interesting because I'm thinking of a friend that I have that she tends to gravitate towards chaos. Like the people that are her friends tend to be chaotic. And she seems to gravitate towards that as either trying to help them or support them, or she can be their peace kind of thing. And I realized that would be the opposite of what I would feel, because if you chaos, I'm already like, y'all, I don't do well with chaos. My hair fall out. I get diarrhea. I don't do well with stress at all. It physically manifests itself with me. So I try to keep it as light as possible. And then when I do have real challenges, last year was rough for a lot of folks. And I had a lot of challenges outside of just COVID, between work and family and relationships. I had a lot of stuff that was just last year. And I can look back from so far this year, half of this year being on how much more energy I have this year. I almost feel like okay, I'm here. I can do it, because last year I couldn't move. It's like I could not physically move last year, and your mind is worried about everything. Obviously with the new Delta variant, all these new concerns. But think about last year when it was so unknown and so scary and so afraid, and that most of us were frozen, but I was frozen personally as well. So now this year, when I'm thinking of something that could be a challenge, I automatically put it in perspective of, but am I still able to move around? Because that means I can handle it. If I hadn't just had to lay down for the past 3 days, okay, it's a challenge. It can bother me. I need a solution, but I've recently seen myself be sat down. Because it's like, okay, my brain, my heart, my spirit can't take no more. But for the point of this conversation, in relationships, that's always kind of a touchy place to go, right? Because when that person that you care about or you're dating is going through something, the natural inclination is, I want to be there for you.
Right.
But we know that we don't really want nobody with us when we... So how do you manage that balance of like, hey, I'm here for you, I'm supporting you. And when that person disappears from us, we get upset and we feel hurt and we feel like, but I'm here to be like a help to you. And I'm not here to cause problems. And I know you're going through something, but then we also know how we are and we don't.
Yeah, it's hard to balance because being on the other side of it, I'm on that other side now where a guy that I'm dating, is going through some things and has kind of shunned me. Has nothing to do with me, the things that he's going through. It's all family related, and has kind of shunned me. And I feel like I've been pushed away. I feel like I'm being punished for something that I haven't caused. And I don't feel included in the struggle part of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be a helpmate to this person, and it's like he doesn't want me to help. So I feel
that's what I'm saying to you. I don't think you should look at it as him shunning you, or I keep saying don't take it personally. I think he's probably shunning everybody. You know, I don't think he's just shunning you or just not talking to you. I don't think he's probably talking to anybody. So that's why I'm saying to you, yes, you wish you were more involved in what's happening.
Right.
Even if it's just an ear. But I don't think you should take this situation personally, because you know it has nothing to do with you.
I know. It's like on the surface, I know that, but still, that's just
analytically, you know it, but feelings.
Right. But the feelings are still there. And that's what I'm trying to manage now. I'm trying to manage my feelings about it. And because I am that person that will just cut somebody off or tell them off or send them a long text that they won't read anyway.
Or they really don't be reading our long texts.
They don't read them. So I know I kind of learned that a while ago. But I am that person to do that when it's like, well, why are you rejecting me? Or not rejecting me, but why are you avoiding me or not speaking to me or not, communicating with me like you did before? And like knowing what I know about what his situation is, it's just like you said, I need to give it grace and stuff like that. But I'm still human. So it's still a struggle. Like I'm in the middle of the struggle right now of just trying to chill out, be cool, be ready to be a listening ear when it's time.
So you think you will be able to make your ear available whenever it's time? Because like you said, in the past, it's like, you know what, forget this. Let me pack up my feelings and move away.
I'm hoping so. Because I like this guy. Like if I didn't like him, I probably wouldn't even bother.
Which brings me to my next point. So do you think the way you feel right now, do you think it makes you realize how much more you like him than maybe you thought you did? This is somebody you're dating. This isn't your boyfriend.
I think I was pretty aware of it.
Okay.
Here recently. So no, I don't think so. No, because I still have that inkling to walk away.
That's just you. That ain't.
But I don't think it's a surprise. I think I pretty much figured that part out, that I do like him. So now it hurts probably more now, than it would if I didn't like him as much. It probably hurts a little bit more now, the situation we're in where or not.
And do you think, again, I'm just making this all up. Mm-hmm. Do you think and I think I don't think you should take the shunning personally, but do you think it would be different if y'all were a actual couple? Do you think he would see you more as that person?
I would think that I would hope that he would see me more if we were actually an official couple and dating exclusively. Because that's not where we are now.
Right.
And I think I would hope, and I don't know, but I would hope that would be the case, that he would allow me in more in this situation, because I am like an outsider, So,
but I'm saying, so moving forward, let's say he calls as soon as we start recording today. Not saying you would communicate anything like that today, but when you speak to him again.
The conversation has to be had. Yeah. Moving forward.
Yeah, because you know what? It's like that episode, That Special Friend. It's kind of like, okay, I realize I need to be more than a special friend.
Yeah, that thing. Life. So I would think that this probably is an eye opener for me. And so if we can make it past this, and if the stars align and we get back together and we get on the right track, we would have to have a discussion moving forward about what we mean to each other. Because I wouldn't want this to happen again. You know what I mean? Right. Like I would want, our communication.
Yeah, because we can totally be processing it as, this ain't my girlfriend. I don't want to bring it to her. I want to keep it light,
Right. I want to keep this a happy place, and I'm not in a happy place right now. So, yeah. So who knows?
And I think men aren't overly anxious to, some men will, but I think most men aren't overly excited to share problems or stresses with a woman, or they don't have the answer to something. And I think this guy is a confident, capable person in his career and his life. He feels like he has stuff kind of figured out for the most part, and he talks to you about certain things. But I think when we go through things for the first time, it's like, I don't know the answer. I ain't got nothing to say. And I think for a man, what can he communicate when he don't have no answers? So that's what I'm saying. I don't think you should take it personally. I think he just ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah. And that's how I'm choosing to take it for now.
So the guy I'm seeing, I just thought about this, and I wasn't thinking about this when we first started talking about this conversation. He just got a new position at work, and we're very new to each other. And he made the comment, I asked for a little grace as I learned the demands of this new position, and I'm not sure what demands is going to have on my time and things like that, to where that was actually refreshing that this person said before the job started, hey, I don't even know what all I'm gonna be having to do and how my time is gonna work with this. I just ask that you kind of be a little understanding in advance. Hey, you know what? I said, I look forward to the opportunity to support you through this new adventure and this new journey in your life. Now, that still means I'm gonna have to show up, and when he ain't available or ain't calling or ain't responding to text, that I don't say, what's going on? How come I ain't heard from you all day? I have to kind of give him that grace that I lied about offering him. So I think most men don't do that. They'll just say, well, you don't understand, and the troops didn't leave Iraq overnight. Yeah. It's like, but if you let me support you and let me in, I dated another guy who would compare himself, to being a medical student or a Navy SEAL, but he was a writer. Why don't you tell me about what you're actually doing so I can support you in what you're doing?
Yeah, there is that
examples.
There is that disconnect, because I think I am very expressive to either my friends or somebody I'm dating about what's going on in my life, so they can understand where I'm coming from as far as, if I'm stressed about a contract that didn't go through or this and that and the other. I just talk about it, put it out there. But men are, some men are very, very private when it comes to things like you said. And I think that's the key thing in my situation. It's something that's out of his control, or that he doesn't have a direct answer for yet. And so it's just like a lot of confusion on his part, and probably a little.
But it goes back to the key. That's the key of everything. Anything we've ever talked about on this podcast in situation relationship, it all comes back to communication. And I think in this situation, there were communications that y'all probably have needed to have before any issues happen. There's communication that's not happening right now. The little bit of communication that has happened has made you feel shunned. And so I think the root of all the issues that all of us ever have in any of these situations is, you know what? You ain't got the lie cred. Tell me you don't like me no more. Tell me you met somebody else. It's like, if you just gave me information. I think information is like so sexy. It really is, when a man is giving me, I realized that this week, I realized I am attracted to information. I like knowing. So whether it's I'm Googling stuff, so for a man to offer me information, I find that highly attractive. And I realized, even with the last guy I dated who was a liar about most things, at some point early on, he would give me a lot of information, and that attracted me to him. I was like, oh, he's in husband default settings. He's telling me this, and I like that. And so now I realize, oh, that's big for me. Like, there's no way I would succeed.
And that's something you need to express early 100%.
on. 100%. Yeah. It's like, but it's not until you get it do you realize, oh, I could never be with someone who does not communicate like this. It's like, because when a lot of times
you don't know where your frustration is coming from, but it is from that lack of communication, that lack of having adult conversations.
Or I don't know, right? We get frustrated when we don't know the answer, right? So whereas that person might be frustrated because they're going through something they don't have the answer to, we get frustrated because we don't know that you're going through something you don't have the answer to. It's like, hey, somebody
double frustration here.
Right. Yeah. Right. But I think all of us are mature enough and loving enough and caring enough to give anybody grace.
We should strive to be, for sure.
Right. We should strive to be, but when you and I, have things, we give each other the space, right? And then it might be, hey, or you reach out or I reach out. And so I think sometimes we don't offer that. We've said that before. We're not looking to talk to each other every day. We're not looking at why you ain't taking me back, but we do put that on to the male counterpart of, what's up? Why I had, and we take it personally and feel a certain kind of way. And we don't feel that with our female friends or family. So exactly. This is
that's something, that's a personal thing that we can look at and say, okay, I need to improve in that area. Just knowing that I'm not treating this person the same way I would treat my girlfriend for the same thing.
Right. You wouldn't dare think about shutting your girlfriend off while she's going through a bad time because you hadn't heard from her. Wouldn't even be a thought. Wouldn't even be a thought.
If anything, I would probably have more compassion in that moment, because I'm like, oh, you really are going through something.
Right, because this isn't normal behavior. And I know you would talk to me because I know we do have a good relationship. And I'm asking you on behalf of this man, whoever he is, sir, wherever you at, I'm trying to buy you some time. But y'all, she be so quick with that wall, building that brick wall back up. And you know what? Let me say this. It's not even unique to you. I've been saying this to several of my girlfriends and it goes back into dating several people. There's nothing worse than putting the energy into a person and them kind of pooping on it. It takes you out the game for the next 6 to 8 months. I ain't doing that no more. See, that's why I don't do that. See that? And
I'm not going to allow myself to do that regardless. I'm not going to allow myself to do that because I know that is a pattern that I need to stop just personally.
We all do that, yeah.
Just because then we're punishing ourselves at that point. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to punish myself anymore moving forward.
100%. And in our minds, we're thinking, oh, well, I just need to focus on this. Or, okay, I'm just going to live my best life. I'm not. And again, the next year comes by and we hadn't tried. We hadn't been intentional. We're like, wait a minute now. And I'm saying as the elder statesman in the
not going to do that no more.
When you wake up and be like, wait a minute, 60-year-olds in my dating pool. Wait, what was I doing? And I can look back and I was having a good time. I was having a good life.
Or just taking a break, like you don't need them. I don't need them.
Yeah, these breaks, we have got to stop with the breaks. And it's like once the time comes that you realize that you might need to move on from a situation, there's nothing you want to do less than try again. There's like
that's so true, but that's a mental thing that you have to kind of get over, and you have to make a decision. And that's why a lot of times I say actions lead, feelings follow. Sometimes you just got to walk in the steps, even if you don't feel like doing it. I
promise you,
just to get back out there.
My last Bumble adventure, I went on 6 dates with 6 guys. I didn't go on a second date with none of them, but it forced me to interact with people. It forced me to get dressed and go out. It forced me to engage with myself, to experience myself in a way when I had just come out of another negative dating situation, right? That I really would have been like in my past life, like, you know what, let me just sit down somewhere because here go another one that didn't work. And I did the opposite of that. And I'm glad I did that because I think, but that still goes back to dating one person. That's why I don't think we should date one person. I think, especially if that one person isn't actively, I want to say staking claims, but making declarations about a future.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that's
what I'm saying. Like making declarations of a plan for us. Then you one of 3, you one of 5. And we don't want to, we don't feel like it. We'd be happy just to find one we can stay in just a little bit. But it takes us out of rotation because it's like, I'm done with that. I'm not. I ain't do that again. Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've been done with that. Like a lot and long times and a lot. And I think back to, during the pandemic last year when I got the boyfriend in Texas, that was the ex-boyfriend, and that didn't work out. Then I went back to Bumble pretty much in a few weeks and then got attached to somebody and then that didn't work out. And then I got attached to somebody else right around that same time. So I feel like I've done a good job.
You have bounced back for sure. You have bounced back.
Just saying, you know what? You're not about to take me out. You're not taking me out.
The main thing is when you meet someone new and then they come at you with that same old crap that you don't really want to hear, like the first date crap. It's like, you got to get over that because it's almost like you're punishing that person for feelings that you don't even know this person, right? But you're punishing him for feelings you have about the other person who did this or said this or whatever. And it's like, oh, it all starts off the
But you know what? I think with my current person I'm dating, I think that's why I do feel comfortable is that we have yet to have one of those ghetto dating conversations. Which when I say ghetto, it's like we have.
Which is a breath of fresh air. Do you
want to get married again? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to? What's your favorite? What's your brother or sister? What happened to your last relationship? But we have never had. It's been over a month, and we have never had one of those conversations. And it's refreshing because it's like we met, and it was like, okay,
we like each other.
Right. Yeah. We like each other from today. And I think also when you get older, he's 50, I'm 46. I think as you get older, you have a true appreciation for how hard it is to like somebody. Like you don't just like people. Like most people you do not like. They can be attractive. They can be successful. They can be interested in you, but you just be like, I don't like them though. So I think in this situation, and I'll say, we talk about it a lot more on Patreon, but with this current situation that I've been in for a month, whenever somebody listens to this on August 9th, 2021, after the first conversation, I called you and said, oh, this is my husband. But it was just because it was easy. We didn't have no ghetto dating conversation and I liked him and he seemed to like me. So I think that is the key, is the communication of, yes, I'm interested in you. That's attractive. But here's the thing about communication. and this is gonna have to be a whole nother episode now I think about it.
Okay.
When someone tells you something that's not true, but they tell you something that is true that's not true. Do you follow me?
No.
Okay. This will be a whole nother episode. Somebody can tell you the truth and be lying about it. And somebody can be lying and tell you the truth. That's a whole nother episode.
Okay, I got you.
You got what I'm saying? Like, and so again, is that communication valid? I mean, they saying something, they talking, but it's like, but this communication is not helpful or useful because you're lying. So sometimes dudes will just be talking, just hear themselves speaking, it's all a lie. And you're like, okay, well, you could have kept that. I would rather you have not said nothing.
Right.
So not all communication is attractive. Let me say that. But I hope that as we learn ourselves and that we start learning how to give some men, certain men, not all, the grace that we give the people we love the most.
Yeah.
Only because they've earned it a little bit. And I think in your situation, this person has earned a little grace. I think he has a little money in the bank to make deposits when he's going to need you to be extra understanding.
All those extras. All those extras.
Yeah, and it's hard when your feelings are hurt, and it's hard when you feel like it's personal, and it's hard not to feel. I mean, if somebody right now came here and cussed me out and I ain't never seen them before, I'm gonna take it personal because they cussed me out. But at the same time, analytically, I know I don't even know that person, so it ain't nothing I did.
Right.
But they still cussed me out, so I get it. So what do y'all think? Y'all let us know in the comments. Are you somebody that wants someone to reach out to you? Here's another question. Once you see somebody does seem to need a little distance, you've reached out before and then he communicated back that he's just having a little thing. Do you reach out again, or at that point, are you disrespecting a boundary that they may have set? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, do they want you to come for them? Like, okay, but you didn't try.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't do that whole.
I know you don't.
I don't do that. Tell me what you need. Don't tell me what you think I want to hear or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Like I had kind of, when he sent me that message that he just has a lot on his plate right now, which I know of. I decided to let it go. And I was going to respond the next day. And then I woke up the next day and I thought, well, no, I'm not going to say anything. And so I don't know if it's on me to check in again. I don't have the inkling to do it right away. Yeah. I may let some more time.
We talked about that a little bit in another context with men. We were talking about how I was telling you about some men I had met or known we're talking about, and they said something to a woman and a woman gave the answer and then he didn't receive it as an answer. It's like, but if she had said it one more time, and it's like this whole, we got to reaffirm.
Yeah. Like, and in this case, I may reach out. I don't know. Not right now. It's not, I don't think, I don't have anything to say. I've tried.
Give me his number. I do it.
Yeah.
No, but y'all let us know. Give us your comments. Do you want someone to, because you really don't know, right? So if somebody says, hey, I need some time, and then that person gives you that time, there could be that part that says, man, they really didn't even say nothing to me. They thought I was going through something. Or it might be the person that says, hey, I really appreciate you giving me that time.
You just don't know.
You don't know. You don't know. That's rough. You don't know. But hopefully you guys have somebody that supports you and loves you. And if not, we do. Just send us a note. We'll write you back and be like, what's going on, girl? What's going on? What he do? No, he didn't. I don't know. That's a tough one. But I think, like I said, for me, having somebody say, hey, I'm going to need your understanding on this in advance. Hey, you bought you some time. You bought you some time on that, because when I do feel like I'm being neglected or ignored, once the job actually starts, the onus is going to be on me to put on my big girl pants.
You've been warned.
I've been warned, and that's going to be on me to say, hey, he did tell you that, and you should not be taking this personally, and just be glad that you're in the room to support at some point.
Okay.
I'll let y'all know how to go. It's so much easier for me to look at my immature, petty friend and say, girl, no, don't do that. And I know, and it could be 3 minutes later, I'm like, oh, no, he didn't. Anyway.
Girl,
let us know what you think. I know I was gonna wrap it up. I know you was coming. Y'all don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff, and we'll see y'all next time. Now I'm here. Oh no, he did.
Girl, yes, he did.